Welcome, 406th and Goal listeners. Today is Wednesday, February 8th.
Yes, it is.
That's Lewis talking
That's
to
Lewis,
us.
yeah.
That's Nick's
Saying,
dog.
hey, what's up, 406 and Goal?
What kind of dog is he?
He's a Newfoundland and Pyrenees mix.
Wow. Really slobbery.
Yeah, big
Really
woofer.
nice. Loves me.
148 pounds.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow, he actually weighs a lot. That's actually a lot.
That's
Never
quite a
mind.
bit for a dog. Anyways,
Anyways,
what we got today?
what do we got today? What did I do today?
No, what have we got today?
I just want to tell you about my day.
Well, how was your day?
It was pretty good.
That's good.
It was so tiring.
Yeah.
I cut through putting countertops for work.
Oof. Marble?
Installed countertops. No, granite. No, not
Heavier.
granite. I'm kidding. It's quartz. It's a lot lighter, but
Mm.
oh my gosh. I had this place is like the framing was a little bit all the framing was shorter than the countertops were, so I cut all the countertops down with a
Who framed
saw.
it?
Huh?
Who framed it?
I thought you did.
Me?
Yeah.
I
I had no idea.
I
who
don't
did it.
frame. Must have
Anyways,
been
I
Ben.
just spit and
I know Ben's framing, so maybe he did
he?
it. Yeah.
Oh.
We'll just say it was Ben.
Spitting a bunch of quartz up in my face.
Oh.
Now my eyes are itchy and I feel sick.
You know
How
what's
was your
good?
day?
You know what? That's a symptom though.
What's that?
Itchy eyes.
Yeah.
Monkeypox.
Monkeypox.
Yeah.
Huh. What'd you do today? Drywall?
No, not drywall. I painted a ceiling for More Plus One LLC.
More plus one LLC. Look
Yep.
it up.
Look it up. Hey, he's got some good content on there.
He does. As good as ours.
And more views, that's for sure.
We'll get there someday.
Yeah.
Anyways, this last week was I think a bit boring for the football world.
Yeah.
With no playoff games.
No playoffs.
And we already hit the NCAA championship game, so we're kind of in the kind of getting close to the end of our football season. But
Well, what's at the end?
what's at the end?
Yeah.
The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
That's next week.
Not even next week. It's like 5 days, right?
It's 5 days.
5 days away.
5 days.
Maybe 6.
Maybe 6.
No,
Or
maybe
even-
4.
Maybe
I can't. Is it 6?
If you really want to, no.
It's 4?
It's 5.
Are you sure?
Today's Wednesday.
Yeah. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I thought today was Tuesday. I'm used to
So it is
doing our
4.
stuff on Tuesday. Dang.
Time flies.
We'll have to go over that a little bit. Yeah.
Well, we might have to.
Anyways, really the only notable game I think we had this last week was the Senior Bowl.
That's right. That was
And
on
even
Saturday.
then, it was a little
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah, but hey, better than the Pro Bowl. I was wrong. Last week I said I liked this Pro Bowl style, and the layout, and the games are cool. They're fun, but without the actual Pro Bowl game, where they're playing with pads, even if they're not hitting each other, it's just better to see that than it was to see the flag football. Flag football got pretty intense. Tyreek Hill got laid out by
Yeah, I saw
Jalen
that.
Ramsey.
Yeah, Jay.
I mean, about that was it. I mean, Tyler Huntley was slinging the rock.
Did you
Derek
see-
Carr,
Did you see that?
yeah, the 31 points by Derek
And he
Carr.
was just like,
He's like, they don't want me here.
that's so sad, man. I heard he might. I heard the Saints are hosting a visit or something.
Yep, the Saints just interviewed
Oh, my
him
goodness.
just today, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm sure Derek Carr is going to get a lot of interviews. He is no slump at quarterback. He's the top 10 in the league.
I think definitely keep an eye out where he goes. If he goes to the Saints,
Wow.
Olave,
Wow.
stock up. I'd rather have
mean-
Derek Carr over Andy Dalton any day.
100%.
I still
I
think
mean-
Jameis has some juice.
Yeah, Jameis has got some juice, but maybe Jameis will go back to the Bucks like you said before
That would be so funny.
and, throw another 40 touchdowns and 40 picks.
For real though, if Derek Carr goes to the Saints, I'm like all in on Olave.
Olave. What'd you do, Michael Thomas again?
Probably not. I think
No.
Olave's the guy there. I
Alvin.
think they would ship.
Alvin doesn't even matter. He's
He's gonna get
Good.
suspended.
what is he?
Well,
This
he was supposed to
season?
get suspended last
Yeah,
year, remember?
that's
And then they moved
right.
the court date, so I'm all out on him.
Ooh, that's tough.
Anyways, let's get back to the
Yep. Senior
the
Bowl.
Senior Bowl. The national team won 27-10.
Who's that?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I think they just switch it up
Yeah.
by regions and
They
stuff.
just go to baseball rules all of a sudden,
Yeah.
just for Senior Bowl.
Anyways, though, don't let that score surprise you. There wasn't really a ton of offense in this, but I mean, we'll get into.
Give me your your main takeaways.
My main takeaways.
Yeah, your top 4 guys from this.
We'll go, since we're mainly a fantasy football podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go through offensive players. But one guy that caught my attention was Payne Durham, the tight end from Purdue.
Yeah.
He's a pretty big boy.
He is.
6'5", 255. You see him out there, and he's just he's a big dude.
He's stud. Who does he remind you of, kind of? Any player comps?
I can't even think of off the top of my head. Who does he remind you of?
Mark Andrews.
Okay, that's fair.
Like big, stocky, good hands.
Not the best athlete.
But I mean, could be a solid tight end too.
That's right. He his stats weren't that amazing.
And Purdue had some guys like this year at wide receiver. Their quarterback was pretty decent too. Running back was good. I mean, that was a good team. I didn't really remember Payne. I'm sure if I were to go back, I would have heard his name a bunch. But I've watched a couple of Purdue games this season, and every time I watched them, they were electric on offense. He must be a big reason, and he's a senior, and he's getting drafted into a very dirty and murky tight end world that fantasy people live in.
Because what is it? It's pretty much Michael Mayer for Notre Dame is like the unanimous number 1 guy.
Yeah.
And then I don't really know who else is in that conversation other than him.
No, I'd have to dig pretty deep, and we haven't done that.
Yeah, but I mean,
which goes to show.
If you watched the game, like he didn't have a bunch of catches or anything, and it's very rare you see someone go off on the Senior Bowl. But he did have a really good contested grab that was almost a touchdown, and then a 2-point conversion and like another catch. So he only had like 2 catches for 24 yards.
Well, but no, it's still.
It's still a good game.
From the highlights, you watch him; he looks ready.
Yeah. So I think he could be a solid like backup for a little bit, and then who knows, maybe he could emerge as a solid starter at some point. But I mean, there was nothing there that's like wows you. Yeah. But I mean, he looks like he could be a reliable.
Just keep an eye out.
Reliable guy.
All these guys, we're just keeping an eye out.
Anybody catch your eye?
Well, we'll talk about it later. You have them down there lower.
Talk about him.
Yeah, we'll talk about him now. And I'm talking about Max Duggan. He did not perform very well. 4 of 9 for 26 yards. My colleague here says that he missed quite a bit of throws, and that fumble wasn't on him. He got hit and then gave it to the running back perfectly, and the running back fumbled it. So I don't think you could put that on Max. I think wherever he goes, he could still be a solid contributor to a team that's already built. So I hope that because Max isn't going to be the first, second, or third quarterback drafted. It's 4th and beyond.
I bet he doesn't even go range. 4th.
Really?
No, I think
Anthony Richardson probably goes 4th. Probably. Honestly, somebody takes a shot on him. So still, Max is going later. He's probably not going first round. Maybe second, depending on the team.
No way.
You don't think so?
No, I bet it goes Bryce Young, and then Stroud, and then Levis, and then Richardson, and then maybe Hendon Hooker. There's a lot of guys that I would take over Max Duggan at this point.
Wow.
It was a good story.
I don't think the pros are looking at it that way.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think that Max will get taken. He's not going to go past the 4th.
Write it down.
Quote me on that.
Quote him on it.
Quote me on that.
I can't wait to see him go 5th round.
Which is an actual likely spot, but he's not going past the 4th. I think he has too much raw talent, more than Sam Darnold did at USC. I think he's better than that, and Sam Darnold's a starter. And so I think that he goes to a team, and I really hope he goes to a team that's set up, maybe, I don't know, the Patriots. Maybe the Cowboys take a swing on him. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm gonna say that you're wrong.
I'm wrong
on your take there, but we'll see. Max could be a bust. He could be the next Josh Rosen. So I don't want to.
Was that saying that Josh Rosen wasn't a bust?
Josh Rosen was a fat bust.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you're saying he could be a bust like the next Josh Rosen, or he could be a bust or the next Josh Rosen.
That'd be a bad hole to dig yourself in, that's for sure. But get on to this. Well, yeah.
My guy.
Yeah, your guy.
Okay.
Tank.
Tank Dell from Houston.
We just watched.
I don't think he played. I didn't see any stats or really. There's so many guys that play. I'm pretty sure he didn't.
Oh, I see. Just practiced.
But I think he practiced. But it seems like a lot of scouts are very excited about him. I think mainly just because of his speed and his explosiveness.
Yeah.
He is a little guy. For the football world, he's a little guy.
World, he's about your size.
Yeah, that's right. 5'8", 163. A little shorter, a little lighter.
A little lighter.
But he can fly.
Yeah, he is quick.
He is fast. He is
shifty.
He's got really good acceleration. Can just get in it. I was gonna say get in and go.
Get in and
bust. Get in and out of his breaks. I do think that depending on where he's drafted, he could really add some juice to a team who's lacking it.
Baltimore,
that would be. I mean, I don't know exactly where he will be drafted. Just talking about
a lot of receivers.
There's a lot of receivers.
There's like 20 really good ones that could and probably 5 of them go on to be a staple in the league.
But I mean, I think there's a drop off from like the first few rounds to the last. And I mean, like I said, I don't know where he goes, but I think he is one to keep an eye out for. You can't teach speed and explosiveness.
And he had savvy just as a senior wide receiver. He's been playing a lot of football already.
Mm-hmm.
So he looks the part like an NFL wide receiver.
But yeah,
who's this kicker guy?
This kicker?
Yeah, who's this guy?
Dude, I don't know, but he scored the most points for either team.
Chad Ryland.
From Maryland. 4 for 5 field goals.
That one he
missed.
Well, guess what? Kickers, they're needed. Like every team, there's maybe, I don't know, I would say 8 teams that have kickers that they're fine with, that they can count on. The rest of the league could shop for a kicker because they can't count on them, because kicking has been so bad lately. Except for like the lone few guys, kicking has been awful this year, or like this last fantasy season. So Chad Ryland, Evan McPherson. Remember when he was a rookie, he was the kicker to have.
He was. Do you know where I'm betting Chad Ryland goes right now?
Where?
First round pick.
What?
Dallas Cowboys. Brett Maher's gone.
Yeah, get that guy out of there.
He had such a good year.
Seriously.
And then he misses. How many kicks did he miss for? Like 5 or something?
It was 4 straight.
Including an extra point or 2?
Yep. No, they were all extra points. He could make field goals, but he couldn't make extra points.
They should have come for 2.
They should have. Every time, but, I mean, we know what Dak would have done.
What would he have done?
Shit the bucket.
Oh, my. You can't say that.
Oh, that's right.
You got to blur that out.
Oh, no, this is YouTube makes you select that it's not made for kids.
Oh, okay.
So it's not made for kids. So
wow.
Okay. But sorry, Mom. I'm sorry.
So Nick, with all of that, I think it'd be interesting to kind of look at those guys and how they performed in comparison to like other players that were in the Senior Bowl.
That's a good question.
Or have played in the Senior Bowl. So I mean, looking at the Senior Bowl as like just in the past years, some notable players who have played were like Dak played in the Senior Bowl, Von Miller played in the Senior Bowl. Patrick Willis played. Kevin Falk played.
That's a reach.
Huh?
Kevin Falk.
These are notable players. I didn't say they're stars or not. He was good.
He was great.
He's a Patriot.
Out of all the Senior Bowl players you could have picked, Kevin Falk.
These are just some of the ones that just showed up for me.
Understandable.
But so I mean, some ballers have played there last year. Here's some last year players.
Yeah, give us these stats.
We had Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
He went 6 for 6, 89 yards and a touchdown.
Yep.
That's better than any of the other guys.
Perfect.
And then now here's where we get a little
-11.
Murkier.
Yeah.
With like trying to figure out who will take it to the next level. We had Rachaad White, who's now the running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had a pretty good rookie season. He was 11 for 52, so I was like, all right. And then
Not
Christian
bad.
Watson doing Christian Watson things on the busting side. One catch for 38 yards.
Probably only played a quarter though.
Probably, like we said, it's like I don't think
Yeah.
they play the full game. And then Damian Pierce, 5 for 16.
Yeah.
Um, so I think this goes to show that the Senior Bowl isn't everything, but at the
Mhm.
same time, it's like you can't ignore like the fact that Max Duggan had such a bad game.
No.
So with that, I want to ask you,
Well,
what?
you could. Because, I mean, 1 for 38 is pretty bad. 5 for 16 is pretty bad. And both these guys were studs this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
It's
you
like
could ignore it.
you could ignore it,
Uh,
but would you ignore that bad of a game out of your quarterback?
yeah.
You would.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
He didn't care.
So I think that leads me to my next question. Can you tell just from the Senior Bowl who will be a good pro and who won't? Because stats
No.
aren't everything.
No, you can't. I mean, you can watch them and you can kind of tell just based off their body language and how they move and operate, their speed, strength, quickness. Just by your own eyeballs watching the television or a computer screen, your phone, you can see from the average viewer whether that guy looks NFL ready or not, even though we have no comparables, you know,
Well,
athletically. But I mean, so there is some you could, but I don't think you can.
and I think there's a lot more to football than it is just like, oh, he has had 9 catches for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns.
It's
Or just
about
like he's like
ayahuasca.
went off, but it's like, what?
What?
Okay, Aaron Rodgers. But I think in some points it can show you like who can step up when needed. Like Michael Wilson, Stanford's receiver, had a pretty good game, and like he wasn't expected to be the guy.
No,
But a lot of guys, there's some guys who didn't play, and some guys who just didn't play
he
well.
showed up.
And he showed up. He had 4 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown.
Which can't hurt him. That's for
no,
sure.
so it's like his
It
stock
only
goes up.
boosted.
So
yeah,
I think it is a time where you can see guys actually step up, but then at the same time, it's like you can't invest all of your stock and like belief
No.
into, oh man, they had such a good Senior Bowl game, they're gonna be the next guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
What's this last one here?
This is the last one, so I think
Let's wrap us up.
that was the Senior Bowl. It was
Yeah.
the last important ish game before the Super Bowl.
I mean, unless somebody like ends their year like Odell did in the Super Bowl, tears his ACL, there's nothing much we take away from the Super Bowl besides the champs, for fantasy.
That's right.
For fantasy.
So I think a question that I have regarding, we'll go into a little more of a fantasy question and a Super Bowl question mixed up, is what are your thoughts on this Super Bowl slump? And it happens, I don't know if it happens every year, but like we've seen it, especially.
You're a Patriots fan, so you know it doesn't happen every year.
It doesn't happen every year, but we definitely know what happened last year with it was the Rams and the Bengals. The Bengals looked great again, and the Rams just absolutely just tanked.
That's correct.
They just took a big old.
And the biggest reason is this: the Rams, they invested all into that 1 year to win. They paid for all the big money with Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, of course. They went in on Matthew Stafford. Just to keep Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey on the same team, that's a lot of money. But the LA Rams owner just didn't care. They said spend it. So they built an awesome team with a really good quarterback and a really good coach and awesome like weapons around them. And their defense wasn't even that good. Like their linebackers sucked.
Mm-hmm.
They had Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, and that was it. And those two enough to make plays. So I think that the slump comes from teams that go all in, like the Rams did. Because now, after that Super Bowl, everybody was on 1 year deals. So they had to let go a bunch of people. The running back room was a whole just mess this season. Matthew Stafford gets hurt. There was one reliable piece gone. Aaron Donald got hurt. Another reliable piece gone. It was just Jalen Ramsey on the defense. And that corner, Hill, number 2, who's really good for a rookie. He might have been like a practice squad guy. But anyways, like it comes from people like buying into that season to win it all. So the Eagles is a great example, actually. they've went all in. You know, all the free agents they got on
Mhm.
defense, all the Bears players from their defense they pretty much got. Like they got AJ Brown. They're not paying Jalen Hurts right now anything. He's on the rookie deal. Devontae Smith will come up again to pay him. They're still paying him nothing.
They better pay him too.
I know. So they have a lot of like pieces. That whole offensive line deserves 10 million or more.
Okay, so let me rephrase this. No matter, we know the Chiefs are going to be okay. They've been
Yeah,
okay the past
and
however many
they
years.
dumped salary and they're back at the Super Bowl.
So let's say no matter the outcome, are the Eagles next year legit?
I don't think so.
What do you think they go?
Actually, no. I think the Eagles are legit next year because they still won't have to pay Jalen. I don't think they'll still have to pay Devontae because he just got taken, right?
This is his second year.
Second?
Yeah.
I'm
Or
pretty
is
sure
his
it's
third year. I think it's his, no.
It's a second. It's got to be a second.
He was taken the same year as Jamar and Jalen.
He
so
played
it's
with
a second.
Jalen. Yeah, it's a second. So they're not paying him yet. So I think they still can afford to pay for their pieces on defense, keep them, because they bought James Bradbury. Like they bought a ton of people. Hassan Reddick, I don't think was on the Eagles.
I think he was on the Cardinals. Maybe
He wasn't on the Eagles last year, and they bought him. And like so, I mean, it just I think they can keep their team. They might take a little dip.
I think they
But if
will
they
because
win-
I don't think Jason Kelsey will be back.
You don't think so?
Jason-
He's retiring?
Huh?
Jason,
I think he is.
after the
I
season?
remember. I thought he was. Maybe not.
No,
You don't think so?
I doubt it. If he wins, no way.
Huh?
There's no way he retires. I don't think so. I'd see Lane Johnson retiring before him because Lane's older, that's for sure. But
I don't know if he is.
I feel
Anyways, keep going.
yeah, I feel like the slump just comes from when teams spend a lot. Like the Patriots dynasty came from like buying in cheap. Like they'll take a star and trade them for picks
Right.
and get something cheap and build it from within.
Right.
And then that dude they get 3 to 4 years with for cheap. And so they're getting Devin McCourtney at year 2, just an absolute stud. You know?
Well, I mean,
like
the Eagles did draft a lot of their players.
Yeah.
They have.
no, it's true.
I think really the only guy I can think of,
AJ.
maybe on the offensive side, is AJ.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders they drafted, Jalen Hurts they drafted,
Yeah.
Devontae they drafted,
Mhm.
Dallas Goedert they drafted. Their whole O-line, I'm pretty sure they drafted.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because we make fun of the Eagles the biggest for that Jalen Reagor thing where they picked him before Justin Jefferson. But I mean, other than that, their picks are solid.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders can give you a stinker here and there, especially if you're a Miles Sanders owner. He can give you negative yards. I didn't even have Miles Sanders, but I couldn't imagine being the owner of Miles Sanders and him giving you negative yards for 4 quarters.
Has that
It
happened?
happened this last season.
Did it really?
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. That's tough.
So I guess to put it in short, do you think yes or no?
Well, how short is short?
Yes or no?
Okay.
Will the Eagles make the playoffs next year? We'll say that.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Yep.
But not as a 1 seed.
No.
You don't think they win the division? You think they win the division? It's a tough division.
It's a tough division. I don't know. I feel like the division next year will be just as scrappy. Like Washington, the Commanders don't take a dip. Dallas takes a little bit of a dip with Pollard, but
I think the
I
Giants
think
are
they
stronger.
pick up. The Giants will get stronger. They will get better.
Because I bet they re-signed Daniel Jones.
Yeah, they do re-sign Daniel Jones, but I guarantee you they get weapons in there and on the wide receiver position because they need it so badly. And yeah, I mean, I don't think they win. They might win the division, might be close again, but they'll make the playoffs. Wild card for sure.
Yeah. So listeners, I think a big thing to note is when you're redrafting, it's so easy to just take players from the team that won the Super Bowl, right? It's just
And
like,
you
okay,
might
I want Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
I want Cooper Kupp. This is last year.
Yep.
I want
Fair.
Cam Akers is going to be the number 1 running back.
Fair.
But I think it's also noteworthy to remember who's coming back and like how the team was set up. Like, are they actually legit?
Mhm.
Have they been playing with each other the past few years? Are they going to come back to pretty much the
And
same
watch
team?
for coaches too. Like there's I can't remember the stat, but there's a pretty big thing about when like a like prominent offensive coordinator leaves your team that you've had for 2-3 years
Mhm.
and have put up numbers and they leave and you get somebody else in, it usually dips every
Huh.
time. So I mean, like if one of these guys get hired as a head coach, that's like an OC or defensive coordinator, or they just leave, I would take a look at that
Mhm.
because usually it's not all about the head coach. A lot of those OCs like make those points happen.
There's a lot more to fantasy
The
football
enemy.
than just how good a player is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like coaching really matters.
Oh, big time.
Morale, like you don't know what happens in the locker room.
Big time.
Like,
And
is a
just
guy a leader? Is he not?
there's types of teams too. Like we know the Bears run the ball.
Mhm.
We know the Chiefs throw the ball. So who do you want? It's like, do you want?
You don't want a receiver on the Bears.
No, you don't
usually.
want a receiver on the Bears.
You very
you
rarely
probably don't want the running back on the Chiefs. Sometimes it's a guessing game.
unless it's Pacheco.
Unless it's Pacheco. I mean, yeah, it's simple math when it comes down to fantasy, and a lot of times we overthink it when it comes to the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Try to think like above everybody else. I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna definitely rise above.
Or like, oh, I'm getting sneaky with this.
Yeah.
Like, no, just like know who the team is, know what they do.
Yep. Know the team is. If they control the ball on offense, you want them because that means more points for your players, more opportunities. Yep, and that's fantasy football.
You just gotta keep an eye on the moves made.
Keep on the moves, and the biggest thing of all, trades.
Trades.
Be dirty. Be sneaky. Be cheeky. Be whatever. Trade. Trade 3 times with the same person, back and forth, back and forth.
That's right.
Just trade.
Trade.
Just have fun with it. And with that, we thank you guys for tuning in to 406 and Goal. I am Dominique Karghockey with your co-host,
Aiden Hauser. And wait.
Yes.
Before we go, we're on Instagram now.
Instagram.
And with that, we're still on Spotify. Obviously, if you're listening on Spotify, we're on
Apple.
YouTube, which would be obvious if you're on YouTube.
Yep.
We got TikTok. Got a bunch of other things, so feel free if you actually no, don't feel free.
Give us a
if
follow.
You would just give us a follow if you enjoy the content, a like, comment, a helpful review.
Subscribe.
Tell your friends if they.
We'll reach out if you comment. We're reaching out. That's right. For sure.
We're gonna be so stoked if you comment, and if you have any friends who enjoy fantasy football, or even just 2 dudes just shooting the breeze, being stupid.
That's right.
4
spots left, by the way. 4 spots left in Dynasty. If one of you listeners that are listening right now want to be in our Dynasty League, it is closing soon. 4 spots left.
Closing time.
It'll be about $20 to $25. We'll get you the final price there at the end.
That's right.
But it's gonna be a great time.
And play only if you're in.
And it's serious.
That's right, because this year it's pretty much just giving up $20 to me.
I don't know about that. We're on a new app. We're on Sleeper app. It has such a better system. Get away from that ESPN and all the baggage that comes with it, like the last championships and just all that crap. Just get out of that, We're in a new year. We're going to be like Aaron Rodgers. We're going to sit in the dark for 4 days, and we'll come out and decide where we're going.
That's right. Who we're taking.
That's right.
Who we're trading.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.